Alright, BobalosRex here. And I was asked to do a Zekvir guide, and it kind of led to this video. So this is last minute Delver's guide and Zekvir tips and tricks. Okay, so I'm gonna start off right from the get because I'm gonna talk about everything with Delves that's going away. Um, so I can cover everything you'd want to do as a Delver this week and possibly next week before Season 2 starts. So, first things first, if you haven't already, you should do the Delvers start for Season 1. So, ship it, get the mount, and then you'd get this quest, Seasonal Start. As you can see, I'm doing it on an alt here, which would just have you go around, talk to this vendor. Real quick, everything Sir Finley sells, this pet included, and anything else that you may not see on mine, anything he sells will be still on the vendor. Anything unique, that is. This gear is going to get changed, I believe. But anything that's unique, as far as transmog, whatever, the pet, whatever, is going to be on this vendor next season. Anything from this Delver's Journey, okay, is also going to be on Reno next season, okay, along with, so anything he sells is going to be on the vendor, but its price is going to increase, okay, because for this season, all these things, once you've earned it, they cost 1 resonance crystals, so now they're going to cost a higher price, so that stuff doesn't go away. Alright, so we turn that in, bada boom, do this, then this whole event's gonna happen. This whole quest line should still be in for Season 2, because they do mention the ship it quest line will still be in, but if not, this could be a quest line you want to get done right now. Okay? Just a little thing, she talks about Zekvir, but they said Zekvir was going to continue on, so I'm sure that this is still going to be a thing, this little quest line here. But if not, if you're playing right now, get this done. And then this awards a little toy. They didn't mention this toy going away, so again, I think this little quest line is still going to be in the game to do. It's just going to be dated. Alright, and now, with that quest, we're going to head to Zekvir's lair, and I'm going to talk to you about Zekvir, but let me go over the achievements for Delves that are going to become feats of strength, and the achievements that are going to go away that you want to get done. All this stuff is fine. Brand levels. Bountiful keys. Fine. Delver the depths. This. Fine. Lore Master. Ivory Goliath. Fine. The achievements that are going to become feats of strength that you want to get done for this season are War Within Delves Tier 11. These are going to become completed Tier 11 within Season 1. So next season we're going to get... These are going to become feats of strength. And there's going to be a new one for Season 2. Alright? Title's still High Explorer. All that's fine. Okay? The story achievements are going to actually have stories added to them. Okay? So the stories achievements you may want to get done now if you're trying to get Glory of the Delver, because next patch you're going to have to do extra stories. Okay? And there's going to be 2 more delves. Okay? This Kobold achievement, I Take Candle, is also going to become a feat of strength because they're not having this candle mechanic anymore, which is kind of good. But it is going to be a feat of strength, so you're going to want to get that. Heavy-handed's fine. Every other achievement, fine and dandy. Okay, just the Kobold one. And these Delve ones. Alright? Other Delve achievements, okay, that are going to be, will continue to be feat of strength. Immortal Spelunker, and the one before it, Undying Caver. And then Let Me Solo Him. Hunting the Hunter, which gets you the title Ascension Breaker. Ascension Breaker is going away. And the Void Dirigible is going away as well. And the achievement Nemesis. The achievement Nemesis is going away, But I think there's a new achievement for Nemesis, which will be fight the Nemesis of the season. But that Nemesis will become a feat of strength. Now, the dirigible look that's going away is this void one here. So let's pull that out. There will be a new Delver's mount, but you'll still get this mount. You'll have to actually do the quest to get this mount to start Season 2. So, just this look of this mount will be the only thing going away. And like I said, the title Ascension Breaker. And now let's head to Zekvir's lair down in Ashkahet. I'll meet you there. Alright, I'm here outside Zekvir's lair. Now, I'm in the city, as you can see. Hold on, let's scroll out of the city. So we're in Ashkahet here. Way down here in the City of Threads. We're all the way at the back here. Yeah. So this is Zekvir's lair. Now, one of the things, how do I unlock Zekvir's lair? Well, there's two difficulties. There's question mark difficulty and question mark difficulty. Question mark difficulty unlocks when you do... I'm pretty sure it's you complete a tier 8 with lives remaining. But it may be a tier 7 with lives remaining because it's linked to Delve 8. But complete a tier 8 Delve and you unlock question mark difficulty. Completing it on question mark difficulty is a lot simpler. I actually have I think I have already guides on this difficulty. It's not too bad. This one you can do with friends as well. Just open up Group Finder, get some people to knock them out real quick for you, with you. Super easy on question mark. And that will get you the toy quest done. Easy peasy if you want to get that done beforehand. Next up is question mark or question mark difficulty. Okay? This difficulty by yourself, if you complete this by yourself, is how you get the dirigible. If you complete it with a group, that's how you get the Ascension Breaker title, which is one of the other only things that are going away. Remember, it's the Ascension Breaker title, the dirigible, and then the feats of strength. Okay. So, this is very difficult to... Honestly, I can't give you the perfect guide on it because for me, it took a days of work to get it done for myself. But I can tell you what I did, what I figured out how to do what I used to figure out how to do Zekvir for myself. Because I'm going to have to link something for y'all in this. Because for each class that you do Zekvir on, dictates how you interact with certain abilities, okay? So, right off the get, Zekvir tips and trick number 1, class choice matters, okay? If you are a one-class player, then you are going to have to get this guide here. Now, I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to link this page. So just... Alright, so I use this Icy Veins guide. Love them, hate them, whatever. I'm going to link this one. This is the one I use because it does have some other stuff about it. It talks about the DBM. I do recommend DBM Delvers to help with timing on abilities because he can throw out abilities wild. There is a lot of RNG in this fight. I'm going to tell you that right now. Your class RNG and then sometimes the timing of his abilities. One of the main mechanics you're going to have to deal with for him is his heal. You're going to need to figure out how you interrupt his heal. Okay? Some classes, I guess he doesn't cast the heal, or he may not. It's the heal and the poison. There's 2 interrupts going on at the same time. You have to interrupt his heal, and then you have to deal with the poison. Okay? You have this in normal, and then there's the add. Okay? So, how you deal with the heal if he casts the heal is you interrupt it. If your class doesn't have an interrupt, he may not even have the heal. I think some priest specs may not. He doesn't even cast the heal. Okay? So again, class choice may matter to you. Classes I've heard that are good. This priest. I did it on a blood DK. Hunters, pet classes, warlocks I've heard have some decent time. Melee have some issues in my opinion because of how he acts. But range have to deal with the same thing, especially if you don't have a pet. But the main thing, and this is why class choice matters, is this spittle. So, this spittle debuff is deadly if not managed. So, either you use Healing Brand, because Healing Brand can remove the spittle. DPS Brand can interrupt the spittle. Okay? So, Brand interacts with the spittle in one of two ways. So, most of the time, what you're going to get in with the spittle is Bran will deal with one spittle for you, and you have to deal with one spittle. Bran will deal with one spittle, you will deal with one spittle. Usually, you want to deal with the first one. Okay? So just be ready with the first one. So, Death Knight's here, Anti-Magic Shell. You use Anti-Magic Shell for the spittle. For Demon Hunters, they're recommending Vengeful Retreat. There may be a talent, which is why it's here, or it may use it straight up. Druids, they recommend Shape-Shifting. For Evokers, Deep Breath plus Bran. Again, now it's making it more complicated. Hunters, disengage with the talent. Okay, so let's say a talent here. Blink, or Barrier with Snail Remover talent. Monks, Tiger's Lust. Paladins, Blessing of Freedom. Priests, Fade with the Phantasm talent. Rogues, you got Vanish, Cloak of Shadows. Shaman, Ghost Wolf with the talent. Warlocks, Demon Circle, Teleport. Warriors, Avatar, Brand. So I'll link this, but yeah. These are the main mechanics you want to deal with. Again, they go over DBM, which is great, is on my list here. Zekvir's healing. You got to interrupt that healing. Again, class choice matters, though. You may not even have to heal, depending on your class, but the heal is where you need to put your interrupt. If you have an interrupt, okay, it's on the heal, not the poison. FYI. Big clue to you. Your interrupt has to go to the heal if you have it. For the hard mode. For the easy mode, you can interrupt the poison, but for the hard mode, you got to use it specifically on the heal. He does heal in the second phase, but in the hard mode, he's healing throughout the fight. The Cocoon. If you're a healing class, you can do this, or you're a tank, you can do this. But then your big focus, for the most part, is going to be the Cocoon. I was able to soak a lot of these poisons on my tank class, okay, with Healing Brand, okay? I could eat these if I mess these up, because I was having a hard time messing these up. So with Healer Brand and a tank, I could eat these spits if I mess it up, but I can't mess up this. You can't mess up the Cocoon, okay, with the tank. So, this is a good tip, save movement abilities for emergencies. The main things that are going to kill you in this fight are going to be his slam down. He also has a web that would pull you and then like turbo hits you. Some tanks can kind of eat that. DPS can't. Healer can't. The thing is going to truck you. But yeah, so avoid the smash, the fear in the later phases, because the fear is the worst part for melee. That's why I recommend for the fear, for if you are ranged, right, even for melee, in the downtime, you want to keep them centered. Okay? Because when he spawns an ad, he'll spawn it around the room. If you're not keeping him centered, he may be near where the ad is and start slamming you or whatever. And also for range, it's a lot easier to avoid the slam when he's in the middle. Because say I have him over in this corner, right, and I'm a melee, and the egg spawns way over there, I go to walk over there, the slam is covering most of the fucking room. Straight up. Whereas if he's gonna slam and he's in the middle, I can sidestep to the sides. But that's one of the parts where it kind of sucks with melee. With melee, you have to go to the ad to kill it. With range, especially range with a pet, so if you're having troubling and you're a main range player, say you're a warlock, maybe switch to Demo. Actually, I think for warlock, if you're good, fine. But say you're a mage or something, for this season, but you play multiple classes and you have a warlock, you may want to think about using your warlock. You may want to think about using your hunter if you're ranged. For your melee, if you're having a lot of struggle because just RNG, where you slam it, maybe you want to look to play a tank. Okay, because tank is basically melee with a lot more wiggle room, especially if you're running healer brand. I recommend healing brand versus DPS for survivability, but a lot of people, if you want to end the fight, if you want to get that egg done, if you're having egg problems, if eggs are your problem, run DPS brand. Okay, porcelain arrowhead for range, final will for melee. Final will for range is super hard to deal with. Healers, you may need to run final will, okay? But this one is so hard for range to deal with and will put you in range of the slam a ton of time. So for range, I recommend porcelain arrowhead. When I was doing on my Evoker and getting it really good, it was porcelain arrowhead. Of course, the only relic to use here is Amorphous. The only relic to put in the utility core relic is Amorphous. Okay, I don't know anyone who uses a different one. I don't think you should. So Amorphous, porcelain arrowhead for range, iron will for melee, final will for melee. I recommend healer brand for safety. If you're having an egg problem, switch in DPS. Okay, and when he's in DPS, focus on keeping Zekvir where the rain of arrows hit. Okay? So I went over most of the class stuff, more of the Zekvir fight. I do have some more tips in here. So your gear itself matters. Okay? I don't need to be doing this fight at this level. Okay? Can you do the fight at this level? Yes. Some people will say, oh, I did it at the... Ignore other people. Listen to me. When it comes to this achievement, this stuff, focus on yourself. If this is hard, easy to you, don't matter. If you want this done, I believe in you, and if you're gonna try to get it done, that's what this guy is trying to help you do. Your gear, you want to get your gear as high as possible. If we get the bonus week with Undermine gear, okay? If we can still do this Undermine week, and I will let you know if we can for sure. I would check. You log in Undermine week, get that fresh Undermine gear, you come back here because that item level buffs up brand. Okay? We'll have to see if brand's nerfed. But brand's level, FYI, affects it too. So brand's power is affected by his level and your item level right now. Okay? So if you can get his level up easy, if you're anywhere in the 50s, he's good. These last two levels aren't really going to make it or break it for me. His level above 50 isn't going to make it or break it. Okay? But if the higher you can get him, the better. If you're struggling, maybe come back, be like, yo, I'm going to level up my brand for a bit, come back and see. Your item level matters, so try to get that up. Alright, and I went over the class-specific stuff. DBM, you want to turn on DBM Delves. Okay, the add-on, if you got DBM, it's the Delves one. You turn that one on. If that's the only one you want to use, it helps with timers, the timing of his abilities. Here, I'll show it off here real quick. Let's see if I can live for a little bit. Alright, Brand's tanking. We may have tank Brand at the beginning of next week. So see, big chillin'. There's his fear. Never seen in that. You saw Brand stuff. Brand's fear. You want to keep Bran away from him. See, Bran dealt with that. Or maybe I interrupted it. No, he did. There's that. Egg. Egg matters. I'm dead. Rip. See, I'm not, like I said, I'm not even consistent with this fight. The inconsistency with this fight, but you saw the timers, right? The timers, that was the main thing. The inconsistency with the fight, and to me, how difficult it is, means you're gonna be ready to lose. Don't be like, oh man, he beat me once, this is too hard. Be like, all right, this guy's gonna beat me up, push me down, take my lunch, he's gonna beat me up, but I'm trying to learn. As long as you're learning each time, like, okay, I need to not do this, oh, I need to not do that, and if you can get more consistent, that's what it's about. He does have an enrage with like at that 35% or something like that, 45%, where he adds the void stuff to his mechanics. Just be ready for that. The main mechanics that are going to kill you are still there. The fear, the AoE fear around him adds orbs on all the directions. Just be mindful of those. He starts launching void orbs. It actually makes it somewhat easier because he starts using somewhat easier to avoid mechanics versus harder to avoid ones. Okay, but again, in that final phase, the main stuff that you gotta watch out for is any like swirly purple thing, whatever. The slams, getting the poison dealt with, however you do it, depending on your class. The add, okay, and staying out of that fear, okay, because once his melee damage, once that's solved for however you deal with it, again, healing brand gives you some wiggle room through some mechanics, especially if you're a tank, because if you keep those heals rolling, especially at higher item levels, that helps in my opinion. Make sure you're using pots, drums, enchants. Get your crafted gear if you can. Make it for yourself. Get other people to make it for you. Bring in heals, slow and steady. Alright? Again, set aside time to progress the fight. Alright? It's RNG heavy. Don't let it take you down. And like I said, that bonus week. So that's everything. Good luck on Zekvir. I know there was a lot of extra stuff in here. And I can't, like I said, I can't consistently just kill this boss. Especially on this guy. This guy ain't even really ready to kill this guy. My best was on my tank. That's what I would recommend. I seen really good progress on my warlock, your pet class. If you have a pet class, keep them in the middle while you're able to go like woo 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 woo. Alright? That'll be a good idea. Melee, you can actually kind of drag them around the side. Okay? For melee, I do recommend along the side, but not in the corners, like here. Okay? Not directly in the middle, but like here. Okay? Not in the corners. Don't put them in the corners, but like along here. Okay? Because you can kind of like bait the egg sometimes, because it spawns a certain distance from him. Usually if he's over here, it does happen sometimes, but it can still spawn over there. But sometimes you get it along here, then it's like really nice. But then you gotta watch out if he's on the egg for fear. So don't always bring him right over to the egg immediately. Let the fear play out, then move him to the egg. Okay? That's usually how the timing is gonna work out for melee. Alright. And there you go. For range, just make sure he's not on brand, so he fears brand. That loses some uptime. And that's all I can tell you. Good luck on Zekvir. Last week, maybe we get the bonus week. Go at him with higher gear. And if you can't get him, it's not that big of a deal. It's one mount customization, not even a mount total. And it's Ascension Breaker. It's not a big deal if you miss it. But if you get it, I'm proud of you. You know, it's hard. Like I said, it's hard. Like, I don't want to do it again. I don't want to try to have to deal with that again. Anyways, thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.